Welcome to the Construction Show Product Promo. I am your host, Jared Downey. We've got StreetLeaf on the show. Liam Ryan, he is the CEO. We're at IBS in Vegas. Welcome. I think you just got in too, didn't you?
Yeah, I just flew in from Florida last night on a red eye.
Is that where the company's based?
Yep, based in Tampa.
Okay, I want to get into products very quickly, but just quick backstory. How was the company founded? Where did it come out of?
So we were actually founded out of a land development company based in Tampa. And one of our projects, we ended up in conflict with one of the local rural utilities. One thing led to another, and we didn't have any streetlights in the first phase of what was going to be a 5,000 home community.
Really?
So literally for the first 100 residents, we just needed to get streetlights out there, and ended up exploring a bunch of different options, got into this world of solar and battery powered streetlights, and realized nobody was doing it in a meaningful way. So we saw the opportunity from there.
Wow. Okay. I'm going to circle back to that because this is like a 10-minute interview. I'm used to doing like an hour or so. So many questions. So I'm going to compress them. But let's go into the products because I want to let the audience know what those are. Great. Your partners up here. I'm thinking these are distributors then?
Oh, no, these are like land development companies and home builders.
Oh, I see. Okay. So let's go into the products that are actually in areas around Florida and beyond.
Yeah. So we're born out of a land developer. So our products are primarily focused for that type of customer.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is all the different types of roadways that companies and engineers design across the US, there's really two in new development. We call them local, or like a residential road.
Yeah.
And then a collector, or like a boulevard. So we just focus our product line exactly on those two roadways. So our product line AV is for avenues, residential roads that people are living on, kids are riding their bikes on. And then our boulevard product is for those 2-lane boulevard roads that are connecting communities together.
Okay. So this is going, I'm going to ask some really simple questions here. So this is going up the same as any standard street light, or, I mean, what would even happen? What is even the development process? Because it's so different. You're not even plugged to utilities. So even my own brain has to sort of rethink what that looks like.
Yeah. So it's a lot easier. So like a typical streetlight process, whether you're like hanging wires in the air or like trenching and running wires underground, it's a long, really slow process, and it takes a lot of time on somebody's construction schedule. Whereas with StreetLeaf, each system is a standalone unit, fully solar and battery powered. So we get in there, go in our customers' timeframes, and just get in and out for a streetlight in 15 minutes.
So each one, like if we're looking at this one over here, each one is its own individual unit?
Exactly.
Yeah, there's no connection at all to the other one.
No connections, no underground wires.
So, okay, when you're coming in, how do you need then developers to actually spec these in then, in most cases?
Not so much spec, but as in like get involved before all the infrastructure goes in.
Right.
Because our lights, and that was kind of what I was trying to describe with the naming nomenclature of like Ave and Boulevard, they're designed for the majority of those single lane and 2-lane roadways in the United States. So the specs are already there. It's just getting people to believe in what StreetLeaf is doing and just letting them know that this is an option. You don't just have to go with the 50-year-old utility type pole.
Where does cost land in comparison to a standard lighting system?
So StreetLeaf is one of those unique products where solar and battery powered systems today are more cost effective than like the old school coal burning like grid alternative. And what I mean by that is because you have to put in all those wires, you have to have a lot of labor to trench, run wire, tie in streetlights to the grid. That is actually more costly than just us putting a panel, battery, and our additional hardware on top of a pole.
Good enough. That's the end of the interview. No, what do you need to add on top of that? But also the speed time, that install, like how often do you think that land developer that you were you working for that company?
Yeah, exactly. So we'll use that project as specific, but we've seen that in a couple other cases where, hey, like a utility or somebody else who's just used to putting in streetlights doesn't have that same like sense of urgency that maybe like a home building company or developer may have. And they don't understand that like, hey, a 2-3 month delay for their partners, their stakeholders for their project may be more costly to them than you just like not even selling them the streetlights to begin with. So speed is really a big factor for our customers.
Is that what do you think out of all the things driving it? I mean, there's also like things like the renewable, it's solar. So right away now you're going into a new community. It has that sort of added thing that the community has. What do you think is the main driver you're seeing from these builders?
So renewable is definitely a big part. And I can say the conversations we've had with our customers on the TV here, but also when we started this, a lot of people were skeptical they thought we were crazy for doing this. Now that they saw it in communities and they saw kind of what you're describing is like, hey, it's almost a billboard as you drive through the community. It's like, hey, we're forward thinking. All of our lights have solar panels on them. Like, kind of just like shows that there's a community that's like thinking towards the future.
Yeah.
But our customers at the end of the day care about costs as well. And so like, as much as they want that and they want to be renewable, it also has to make sense on paper.
But that's what you're delivering, because it is cost. Like trenching. I mean, I've worked in construction. As soon as you start digging holes, man, the bills pile up.
Yeah, no, exactly.
What about reliability? Just even for my own knowledge, how does it compare, like in longevity and actually having to replace them over time and things like that?
So reliability is, at the beginning, was the biggest hurdle to get our customers over. And what I mean by that is because we're off grid, because we're solar and battery powered, people are like, hey, we're in Florida for our first projects. Like, hey, what if it's raining for a week or your lights are going to turn on? So we really, when we launched this, like dove into the specifications, overbuilt our panel and battery backup to make sure we have like 3 to 5 days of full power backup.
Oh, really?
Regardless of the weather. And it's gone from just making the system reliable to now we're resilient. And what I mean by that word is, again, the majority of our systems are on the western coast of Florida. We've been hit by 6 hurricanes over the last couple of years. And even when the power grid goes off in those storms, our lights stay on. So the conversation's gone from, hey, how do you know your lights are going to work, to, hey, I know they're going to work even through like the worst extreme weather events.
So that becomes, now, did you think of that as a, because that seems like that would be now an added selling proposition. Was that a conversation when it came to market?
So not at the beginning. We were really just trying to solve this one problem and just deliver streetlights in this community. But now that we've seen it and we got like our hands dirty and actually dealing with these lights, that's become a big selling point for our customers.
The other thing is areas. We were dealing with a solar company, more on the industrial, like taking a full property off grid, mobile plant, you kind of break it down. And it was really good in some areas, like really good. But then other areas, it wasn't the right fit. Is it a similar thing with StreetLeaf?
It is and it isn't. And what I mean by that is we always talk internally, like, hey, we can install lights from like Miami to Minnesota. What we found is our value prop for our customers is greater in the sunnier kind of Sunbelt states.
Right.
And what I mean by that is like, hey, in Miami, we only need a 200-watt panel to do the job. In Minnesota, that you need like a 400-watt panel and like a larger battery to do the same type job, same type roadway. So it's like we just see the value prop for our customers decrease the more north we go. But obviously, as we reach scale, as solar and battery products become more and more efficient, that will decrease less and less.
This is a genuine question. What reason, if you're in areas like the Sun Belt, what are some of the reasons people have said no? Because I'm honestly trying to find, I know I'm doing an interview. It's like I'm just promoting it, but I'm honestly, what are some of the reasons people go, oh, this isn't a good fit?
It's literally what it's hard to describe. And what I mean by that is it's just taking the time to think about streetlights. It's one of those just afterthoughts. Nobody really ever thinks about them until there's an issue. And that's why we're at a show like this, is we're just spreading our message. When we get somebody to sit down and like hear our story and hear about what our products do, it's an easy sell. They sell themselves. It's really just getting people to take a time to realize that there's even a problem and also a better alternative.
Yeah, it's true, because even for myself, when I first saw the company I came across, I was like, oh yeah, streetlights. And then I ended up talking to Carrie and I went, oh, this is something different. Is there that challenge though? Let's say you kind of need to get in early though, because let's say a developer's you said 5,000 homes. Halfway through the project, they're not going to necessarily switch, right?
So yes, we do prefer to get in early. It makes it easier for everybody. But funny enough, a lot of our initial projects outside of that first example that we discussed were actually the opposite, where we came in after the fact. So some project manager for a big home building company had put down paving, run electrical, was about to deliver lots and start delivering homes, and then realized there weren't any streetlights. And the local utility was going to have to come in, bore, tear up all this fresh asphalt and put in the streetlights before they could close the homes. And they called us, kind of seeing them across the street, and be like, hey, do you guys need wire? Can we just throw these in really quick? I need to sell this home in the next 20 days. Like, I can't spend that time to go back and dig everything up. So absolutely, at the beginning, especially these big master plan communities, easier when we have those conversations up front, match the aesthetic, kind of match the whole vision of the community.
Yeah.
But a lot of our first customers were like reactionary, like, hey, I just need streetlights now. Can you guys put them in?
Yeah, actually, that leads me to my last question. Supply chain. Obviously, that's been a big discussion on some of the other shows we've done. We had a company, they had to literally rent a ship to get their stuff over. Some crazy stuff. How does that work on your like order times, lead times, things like that?
So I would say the supply chain constraints that happened during COVID were like a good test for us when we were like a really early company, and we were able to snake our way through those like pretty seamlessly. Obviously, we had hiccups there, and we really got all of our hard lessons out of the way. So this past year, obviously with the scare of tariffs and everything going on there, we've just been right on our supply chain. We have over a year's worth of supply. And then a big thing is also storing batteries and making sure that they're getting charged, discharged properly, so you can hold them a little longer if needed.
Yeah, and sorry, you mentioned it, but I want to circle back to it. And you said these will last for approximately how long?
So the biggest driver once they're installed in the ground is the lithium ion battery. So they're designed to last 8 to 10 years. So that's the engine of the product, and that's really the life cycle of the product itself.
Okay, and then does that whole product then need to be, or just be the battery that it would be?
It would just be the battery. The solar panel is designed to last over 20 years.
Okay.
The LED light is designed to last over 10 to 12 years. It's really the battery that is the biggest replacement cost.
Yep. Amazing product. Great setup that you have here. It's fun to be in the booth that everybody's busy. I mean, you've got just a ton of people stopping. And I see people haven't stepped in, and they'll be like chatting with each other about it and that. Are you pretty happy with the results at IBS, like how people are engaging?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I just got in this morning, was blown away walking through the show. So obviously incredible.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, like I said, like the biggest mission at StreetLeaf is just to get people to think about streetlights. So the show has been a great option for us.
Yeah, I was talking to Carrie. You've been featured. I think you got nominated for Best Outdoor product on. We'll bring it up on the screen what that actually was, and then got featured I think for a presentation thing. And so there's this. Yeah, IBS is also recognizing the company.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was a big surprise as well. I think it's like best outdoor product, like best in show or something like that, and then some of the other kind of call outs at the beginning of the show. So yeah, we're super excited to be here.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, congratulations on the success. I mean, I've started a company, not an easy thing to do. So right there, props to you, and then making a great product that is clearly in demand. It's kind of right time, right place. So congratulations, and I hope we do this again.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
And thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll put links to StreetLeaf. You can connect directly with Liam, as long as it's okay to put your LinkedIn in the description. Sure. You can connect directly with him, connect to the team, follow them, and we will see you on the next episode of the Construction Show Product Promo.